good.
All right, guys, I guess we're going to get started. Before we get going with our formal agenda and introduce the board, as well as our folks that are online here, I just want to kind of go around the room, because there's a lot of faces that I recognize, a lot of faces I don't recognize, so just kind of quickly introduce yourself to the group. So we'll start over here. The younger gentleman over here with his hand up. Yeah.
Vice President of Abbotsford Public
Jason Gillis, President of BMFL.
Shane Ford, Secretary of the BMFL.
Mike Stone, Vice President of Mission Matters.
Awesome.
Deputy Vice President Beverage.
Ryan here, President.
Awesome. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for giving up your Saturday morning, as I said before, to be here with us. So I'm going to start by just saying thank you again for everybody for a great, fantastic year. We're going to go through our reports, but really from our standpoint, it was a flawless season across the board, right? We didn't have any major issues that, elevated past the club level, so really great to hear. But we'll get into some of the nitty-gritty details as we go down, but we'll start down the end of this table and introduce yourself.
Valder, Vice President of BCCFA.
Jay Schofield, President of the BCFL.
Jay Spencer, Flag Coordinator, 6-Side Coordinator.
I'm David Rooney. I'm currently the president of the BCCFA. Currently.
Kayla, Secretary.
Shelley, Coaches Coordinator.
Okay. Next on our agenda, we're going to just, I know the AGM report just went out this morning, but the advance notice of the meeting minutes and everything went out a little while ago. Just the financials, sorry. So we're not going to go through every single meeting we had this year. Obviously, it's a lot of paperwork. Just to let you know that we do publish every meeting minutes. They are on the BCCFA website for you to look at any time. All our financials are there at any time. So if there's anything that comes up throughout the season, please feel free to reach out to us. Reach out to me. If you see anything or have a concern or a question, we're more than happy to answer that. But all the meeting minutes from the year are also included in the report that went out to everybody. So you have a chance electronically there to look at it. And if you have any questions or concerns, please let us know. And we're just doing 2025 today? Right. Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah, the people that aren't at the table that are supposed to be here. So I don't know if I can get this on speaker, but one second. Let's start with, we'll start with Cindy, Keith, Joe, Lisa, and Ash. Cindy? Cindy, can you hear me? Cindy?
Beautiful.
Are we not? No, my audio's on. There you go. Go ahead, Cindy.
Cindy, BCCFA Treasurer, Snowy, Ontario.
I don't know if you guys can hear that.
No.
Anyway, I'll go around. So we've got Cindy, who's our BCCFA treasurer, who recently moved to Ontario. So she's coming to us live from snowy, cold Ontario. We've got Keith Cothra joining us from Alberta, who's our LMFRA representative. We've got Joe Gluska, who is the past president of the BCCFA, among other organizations throughout his football career. We've got Lisa, who is our 9-a-side coordinator and also our insurance guru. And then we've got Ash Simpson coming to us from Kelowna as well. He is a associate member on the board and helping us with sponsorships and things. So, welcome, guys. Thanks for joining us on online. Okay, so back to the monthly meeting minutes. We definitely didn't do we didn't have a full meeting every single month this year because there were a couple months where we didn't have a whole lot to go over and cover, so we didn't want to waste anybody's time. So that's where you'll see gaps there. It wasn't that we didn't publish the meeting minutes, it's just we didn't have a meeting that particular month. I think it happened twice this year, right? So that would explain any of those gaps. We also published the AGM minutes from last year's AGM. So if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns about that, we can discuss openly. But if there isn't, we can have a quick vote to adopt the minutes from last year's meeting. I know a bunch of you were actually there last year, so you would remember it, but so we have a representative from every club here except for Chilliwack. Wayne, if you want to stand in for call, he's on his way. He's going to be late. Can I get somebody to
Motion to accept.
yeah, motion to accept from Jay. Do I have a second? Second by Boulder. And we'll just go around. Boulder, what's your vote? I'm calling the question. What's that? Sorry, Lisa. Go ahead. Was it at last year's AGM, you mean? Okay. So Lisa's also our rules guru as well. So anybody who wasn't at the AGM last year has to abstain from the vote. Okay. I'm going to call the question, but we'll go individually. So Balder. Yes. Jay?
Yeah.
Jay? Yeah. Chilliwack? Abbotsford? Langley? Mission? Yeah, I believe, yeah. Meadow Ridge? Yep. Okay. Motion carries. Now I'm going to try to get Cindy on here to do the treasurer's report and the new budget. So I'm going to try to get as loud as I can on here so you guys can hear it. If you can't, just let me know. That would be great. Yeah, thank you. So Cindy, it's up to you. I just want to see if we can get you on here.
Overall, we had a positive budget.
You guys hear that? No, hang on,
We
Cindy.
originally approved the budget where we were $30,000 over.
Hang on, Cindy. So they can't hear you. Hold that. I'm going to go adjust the volume. Which one? Yeah.
Just the two on the left.
Try it now, Jay. Or,
Cindy?
go ahead, Cindy.
Yep.
Go ahead.
What do you want me to say?
That's better.
Can you hear now?
Now I can
Is
hear
that
you.
better?
Yeah. Is that good for you guys?
Yep. Hello, New York. Try saying this.
I'm good to go?
Yeah, go.
Okay. So as you can see from my summary, we're expecting to run a huge deficit based on the approved budget, but wound up actually breaking a small amount into the positive, where we finished the year with a plus of 257 based off of what we actually spent to what we budgeted. So that was even with the reduced amount that we got from the BC Lions, dollar amount being reduced. We maintained fiscal restraints in what we were spending our money on, as well as making sure that we could try to get sponsorships or in-kind donations where possible so that we didn't have those added expenses. So I think going into 2026, we continue with the exact same financial restraints that we did in 2025 to go forward with 2026. To answer, Colin's not there. He submitted a question to me regarding the flag championship, because one of his members wanted to know if there was a further breakdown or price, so I don't know exactly what that member was looking for. But to clarify, that particular line that says volunteer reimbursements, hotels, gas, and travel, that is strictly the gas, the hotels, for everybody, and travel just for our volunteers. The officials, gas, and everything else is all in the officials' lines. So maybe I'll reach out to Colin afterwards and ask if what kind of clarity they're looking for, and then I can respond that way. I just wanted to make sure that I touched on that just in case Burl was in the room. The next thing is to go over the approved budget. I did put in inflation amounts for 2026 because the cost of everything's going up. But I do think that even though it says we're going to run a $22,000 deficit, I think we can either break even or still come under budget overall. And those are, the document is on page 31, 32. I think I saw some questions in the chat.
No, they were just points of clarification, so yeah, no, we're good.
Okay, I just wanted to double check. Anybody in the room have any questions for it or want clarification? I didn't get any other emails but the one from
Does anybody have any questions or concerns about last year's spend or this year's proposed budget? Anything? Yeah?
I'm just curious about your Clover debit machine.
I can't hear it.
I'll repeat it to you.
The Clover debit machine that you guys use, is that one you guys borrow from someone every year?
The Clover debit machine, is that the one that we borrow?
No, that is our own personal machine
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
that we utilize for, we have two
Last year we
machines,
got
one
a-
for gaming and one for merchandise.
Last year we got our own, the year before we used
Okay,
to
because I was gonna say, because we got a Square last year, like a Square cap thing that we
Yeah.
used, and it was very inexpensive.
Yeah.
And we used, that's why I just suggested
We
could
don't
get
pay
that.
for the year, it's just when we need it.
Yeah,
The Langley Rams use the same one for the 50/50 and all of
okay,
their sales.
I know, because we've had issues with it in the past.
And it's local, so it's a local.
Okay, that's all.
If you want info, we can give it.
Anybody else have any questions about the money? I'm usually quiet. Usually the money's the big one.
Colin's here now.
And Colin, yes, she did answer your question. Yeah. Do you want to? Colin's here now. Cindy, did you want to reply to him?
Colin, in regards to the question your member had about the line for the championship where it says volunteer, gas, hotel, and travel, that line is specifically for any of the volunteers that come up for flag. Anything related to officials and any other expenses is all taken into account in the officials line. So I'm not sure exactly what clarification they are wanting. Did they want it more broken down to like what the actual cost of the hotels were, to what we paid for gas and travel for our volunteers to come up?
I gather that's what they were asking, that's what they were.
He says that's likely what they were asking, if that's available.
I can send him an email directly with the dollar amounts that we
Yep.
paid for the hotels and then the travel.
Yeah, let's do that.
I can get that to him.
Yep,
via
sounds good.
email.
Sure, they haven't followed up, but is that available for them?
Yep, she's gonna send it off to you, Colin, no problem. Yeah. Okay, Cindy, moving on, no questions. Now, are we going into the proposed budget, or is that, we just covered that?
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, okay.
We're gonna run a $22,000 deficit, but I don't think we'll be in that $22,000 deficit because we had a $31,000 deficit last year, and we actually pretty much broke even because of the fiscal restraints I keep putting on you guys.
And we're gonna go over that too, yeah. I got that as part of mine in there, so.
So I have a feeling we are not going to be in a deficit. I think we will either break even or still have another positive ending. I don't think we're going to end in the red. I think we'll end in the black again.
Okay. Thank you, Cindy. Appreciate that. Yeah.
Because I'm taking into consideration cost of fuel.
Hang on, sorry, just a sec. Lisa, do you want to ask that again so I can get it for everybody? 1 sec. Go ahead.
I'm just curious why a budget is proposed with a $22,000 deficit. We don't actually think we're going to be in the deficit. A budget is supposed to be kind of a true example going forward, and if we don't think we're going to do that, then we should be adjusting numbers so that it doesn't show that.
It's partially because of the cost of food, fuel, accommodations, and the fact that I have no idea what kind of sponsorships we're getting. To be honest, I don't know if we're going to get any other formal big sponsorships that are going to help us right now. If we were to stick to the numbers that I put in the books, or in that proposed, we would run a deficit. But the reason why I don't think we're going to be there is because I think we have people on this board that can get us those income donations, those sponsorships and things like that, that I don't know if it's going to work out in 2026 or not, but I have faith that it will.
Okay,
That's why I made a deficit.
Okay, if we go through, like I'm looking now, sorry, I was finally able to pull it up, the actuals to the budget. We have game day brochures. Apparently 250 was actual, moving it up to 500. I thought we'd agree that we're not doing game day brochures for the tackle championships, that it was just going to be an online, so there would not be an expense there.
But we had some paper copies that we did have on things, so I'm not zeroing out something in the budget until I know it's a $0 amount. And that's just because I don't want us to run into something where we say, well, we didn't have a budget for that. Why do we have money in there? So that's where I look at things and go, okay, well, we might have costs here. The cost of the things might go up, so I'm gonna double the amount that we spent this year, even though we may not spend anything in there, and then that's where cost savings can be for us. If it makes sense.
On that program, there will be costs for doing all the artwork.
The digital, yeah.
Just aren't going to be printed.
Right.
So, I mean, we got it at a pretty good price last year.
Yep.
I'm assuming that there's a bit will do for about the same next year, but it might go up. I mean, the cost of everything has gone up a bit.
So what Balder was just explaining is that there is still a cost to create the brochure, the programs. It's just not as much as it would be if we were printing them. So there will be a cost associated with that. We just don't know what it's going to be yet. We did get a really good deal apparently this year, so hopefully we get that same deal next year going forward. So does that work? Lisa, you good?
Ish.
That's good. Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the treasurer's report first? Anyone?
Yep.
Ballard, Jay second. And any other questions, concerns? Okay, I will call the question. This time I'll get the people online first. Lisa. Specifically treasurer's report, not the proposed budget.
Yes.
Okay. Ballard?
Yes.
J1, J2? Yeah, both yeses. Chilliwack? Abby? Yeah. Langley, yeah. Mission, yeah. Knights? Yeah. Motion carries. Now we need a motion to accept the proposed budget for 2026, 2027.
Yep.
Jay Schofield.
Second.
Second, Jay Spencer.
J2.
J1 and J2. Lisa?
No.
Lisa says no. Balder?
Yes.
Jake Schofield?
Yes.
Jay Spencer? Yes. Chilliwack? Yeah. Abby? Langley? Mission? Yeah. And Knights? Middle Ridge? Yeah. Motion carries. All right, let's go to, we'll get into our reports now. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off so it doesn't go nuts. Can you guys hear me if I actually talk? Like I don't need the mic, right? Okay, I'll just put there for the other folks, but we're gonna get into our reports for the year. So my whole report's printed in there. If you guys want to read through it, it's great. I don't want to talk word for word what's in there, but what I mentioned before was true. Like we had a great season of football this year. I saw a lot of kids out on the field. I know that all the clubs have had some growth year over year, which is fantastic. I know that we're doing really well with the six-a-side across the BCFL, and it's. With the parents that I talk to a lot, they're loving it, right? They're loving the fact that kids get to play more than they would have prior, and they're getting a ton of skills before they get into more competitive football, which is fantastic to see. I love the fact that, you know, every year we can put, you know, 6 or 7 quarterbacks up to the Pee Wee league instead of just the 1 or 2 per club kind of thing. So really good to see that we're growing in the grassroots level. I want to thank everybody on the board for all their hard work this year, and all the volunteers. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the volunteers at the club level, the individual boards, and the BCCFL executive. We just wouldn't exist without that. So thank you guys again for all your hard work. Once again, just a reminder that the BCCFA is 100% volunteer run. There's none of us here that draw a paycheck, but we just kind of do it for the love of the game and the smiles and stuff that we see every year at the championships and at the flag tournaments just throughout the year. So thank you very much for there. We'd like to thank the BC Lions. As much as we did have our funding reduced last year and again this year, we do appreciate the fact that we are getting some support from BC Lions, and we continue to support them as well. I want to thank the LMFRA for continuing a great partnership with the BCCFA that goes back well before my time. I think Keith was probably a young man at the time when that started, but it's hard to believe that he was ever a young man. But yeah, I want to thank them because we honestly couldn't do it also without the referees, and having the LMFRA on our board where anytime we discuss any types of rule changes or adopt new programs, they're on board with us right away to help us with those officials' questions, and then of course being able to train and teach their staff so that as soon as the season starts, we don't have refs that are guessing on any rule changes. They're already fully up to speed. So thanks again for that, LMFRA. I was going to leave this towards the end, but I'm kind of going to talk about it now. So a couple of things is with that reduced funding from the Lions. So we've had to scramble a little bit in order to continue the programs that we're doing to the level that we want to do them, right? Namely the Kelowna Joe Gluskin Invitational. That is an event that for decades everybody's looked forward to, parents, players, everything. And it all comes down to the work that this board does, the work that previous boards have done, the work that has been done by folks that are in other programs now, that has just been building year over year over year, so that it's a fantastic experience for the parents, for the players, and all the volunteers, so that it's really just a really fun event to go to. And that costs a lot of money. It does for all the various expenses that you'll see broken down when we start looking at when we start looking through the financials. So the cost to put these events on has increased year over year, and the money that we've been pulling in, we haven't had a significant fee raise in many years, and like I said, we're on partial donations from the Lions. So we are currently looking for sponsorships. We've got a few that have already started. We've got our entire food budget for the Kelowna event is now being donated to us this year. That's a huge savings for us. We have a food truck owner with multiple food trucks that is willing to cover all the meals for officials, volunteers, as well as give us a kickback on the sales that they make throughout the weekend, which we've never had before, so that's always good. But if anyone in any club wants to support a company, a local company, support any type of business, please reach out to us. Any type of donation we will fully accept, and we will put you up on our website. We'll have advertising on the field. We can do whatever it needs to help promote that business as well in order to keep these programs going for us. So partners at bccommunityfootball.ca is the email. So we'll make sure that gets sent out as well to everybody. I think that's all I have. I do want to say thank you to everybody in the province of BC that's also putting football on. Right, I've said this many years. All football is good football, and I don't care whether you're in the BCCFA, the Football BC, and all the other zones around. Whether you're in high school, whether you're in North Shore football, anything like that. All football is good football, and we're just here to help and do our part. And so the more and more we see success in other areas of the province, the happier it makes us, because it just shows that our sport is healthy and growing. So wanted to make sure that that's said. I am done on mine. So does anybody have any questions for me specifically before we move on to anybody else?
I may have missed the answer, and I apologize again for my tardiness. You mentioned the Lions support.
Yes.
Diminishing a little bit.
Yeah.
We don't see representation here.
No.
They were invited.
They were invited, yeah.
Why is it diminishing?
It's 100% due to our numbers, right? We can go into the contracts and everything else that we had in place and everything else. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we're happy to get a donation from the Lions in any way, shape, or form, and we'll have to just bootstrap ourselves going forward, right?
Our numbers have shrunk that much.
No, it's not that our numbers have shrunk. It's that where before we were the largest member in the province, right? Before the split from the PSO, right? Now, because of the split from the PSO, our numbers are basically the BCFA, right? So that's what they're taking into consideration. Yeah. Despite the fact that our programs have not changed, and the cost, like I said, has been going up. The reality is that we cater to basically one zone. We may have some news coming in the next little bit, but as it is right now, that's where our numbers stand. So, yeah. Anybody else? Okay. The last thing, that I wanted to mention too is we're going to talk about it in a little bit is the BCCFA Championship. Year over year, we've done the four things that the BCCFA does, right? We do coach certification, we provide insurance for players, coaches, and cheer, and we put on the BCCFA Championship, and we put on the Joe Gillespie Invitation. That's basically the gist of what this organization does. We don't mandate what clubs do as far as their individual programs, and we don't mandate what the BCFL does and how it runs its league. We just support across the board. Every year since we've kind of merged the championships, the BCFL and the BCCFA championships, there's always been some friction with how the BCCFA set rules, which have been in place forever and ever, versus how the BCFL does their seasonal rules, right? Just subtle changes here and there. And I was approached by several people last year, not just to voice their concerns, which is totally fine, that's my job. You got a complaint, come talk to me. But a lot of people were saying that, why are we even involved in the championships, right? And so I have put it to Jay and to anybody else in the BCFL, if you feel that you would rather do the championships yourselves at the end of the year, we're totally okay with that, right? Like I said, we want clubs and the league to be autonomous. We're just here to support. So if folks feel that the championships would be better served by being run by the BCFL, and we take a step back, we're okay with that. We just want to make sure that you understand the reason why we had differentiation in rules from what the clubs do versus what the BCCFA does is because prior to the changes in the province, we had zones all over the province that all had their own individual seasonal rules, little subtle changes here and there, whether it was kickoffs, no kickoffs, whether it was 10-play rules on how they were enforced. So we well, prior to me, BCCFA set out rules specific to the BCCFA championships. That way that every club that came in played by the same rules during that one game. Everybody knew about them. There, you know, there was no sneaky hidden agenda. It was just the way it was always run. And that kind of sort of went to the wayside since COVID and since the changes in the province, right? Where we're probably on our 5th generation of board members since that split, right? Not everybody that was around then is around now. So we're happy to go through that with anybody, but as I had several people tell me last year that, you know, like, I had one guy ask me, why are you even here? And so I was like, okay, well, if that's the way the majority feels, then we're more than happy to work with you to transition that back over to the BCFL, if that's how you guys feel. So it's not a decision that needs to be made now. I'm just putting it out there. However, I would like to make sure that every board understands the cost of that, right? The cost of the banners, the medals, the dog tags, and the bags, and like the footballs, and everything else that we do. We cover the food for everybody during the weekend or during the tournament, things like that. So there is a lot of work that goes into it. It's not just us showing up with lawn chairs on a day to watch championship football. Like, we do put a lot of work into it. So if anybody else is willing to take that on and feel they can do it better, I'm absolutely happy to help transition that. But if everybody's cool with the way things have been going, we're good with that too. So, you know, it's just something maybe that the BCFL can discuss at their next meeting across the board and let us know what you think, right? Yeah. Sorry, yeah?
If the rules that you guys come up with, and I understand, like, everybody has different games to play with, so making one set of rules, forget it. But if now it's just us,
Yeah.
why would we switch those rules to what we play by, like what the CFL plays by?
Yeah, no, that's total.
And I'm not like
Yeah.
shit
That,
or anything.
total valid point. Yeah, no, I understand that, and that's something we can discuss as well, right? Once we get the feedback from you guys, from your next board meeting or wherever, then we will sit down and figure out what's best on that side too. A lot of the idea of the no kickoffs at I think it was the Pee Wee level, and the Pee Wees where the 10 play count didn't count for special teams, was for years it was abused, right? We have 10 play kids that only ever saw kickoffs and kick returns, and if we had a championship game where two teams were basically playing between the 40s and nobody was scoring because they were so equal, half the kids didn't even get out until the second half of the game, right? So we want to make sure that every kid gets a chance to play. We want to make sure that every kid who may be a 10-play kid now, but is going to be a superstar 3 years from now, once he hits a growth spurt or really enjoys the game, that they get out and get as much play. That's where that rule came into. It was not to punish any team or have them try to restructure how they coach, but at the end of the day, your kids should be playing as much as they can out there, and that's kind of where we had to push for that rule a little bit. But once again, you guys, as the BCFL, discuss it. Let us know what your wishes are, and we'll put it to the board and go over it and let you guys know.
You guys more to that one is just like, is it important not advantageous for the BCFL to look at and adopting all the BCCFA tools for league gameplay of their championships at league level? Like, I guess we put this in all three other zones have done that in their leagues. They've adopted the provincial rules so they're playing the same game all the way through. There's no surprises.
Yeah, no, that's also an option. Yeah.
The other thing is based on your governance, do you have to look at like rule books and everything at an AGM, or can you pass that at a special meeting? Because I don't know how your governance works, but if you were to adopt their rules, or if they were to adopt yours, you have to look at the governance and make your societies, right?
Yep.
So, do you do that here?
We don't approve clubs rules, individual clubs rules, or
No, I mean,
BCFLs.
if you accepted their handbook for your championship.
Yeah, no, we can adopt that at a regular meeting. Yeah.
I look at everyone's governance.
Oh. Okay, 1 second. So one question was about the differentiation of the rules. Now that the BCFL is basically the only member of the BCCFA, why doesn't the BCCFA adapt the rules that the BCFL plays by? Which I said was valid and an option to consider once we find out what the BCFL wants to do. And then we also had a question from the PMFL as to why not have the BCFL adopt the provincial rules, so they're playing the provincial rules all season long, which is basically, you know, the same question back and forth, whether we choose to adopt the rules that that the BCFL wants to use, or whether they adopt the rules that we use through for the championships. But like I said, that's a discussion we can have down the line. But that's that was the general questions. Anybody else? Good, sir.
So I've been here, but if that were the only concern, Dave, is the symbiotics of the rules, and we met and talked about it and said, yes, we prefer it if they were adopted immediately when the season.
What's that? Sorry.
We would probably adopt it.
Yeah.
This is,
Yeah.
we deal with a lot of ungrateful parents and coaches. I know exactly what you're talking about. And
Believe me,
that-
I know. Yeah.
Here's a reflection of our philosophy and
Yeah.
I think it's just a matter of all of us sitting down together in a meeting before the season starts and
Yeah.
figure out what we're doing, and then
And that's why I've been talking to Jay, just to put it to the board before the season starts, right? Where we have time, because everybody works hard, right? Everybody's got jobs and lives and everything else. And so when you guys get together for your meeting and then we get together for ours, it'd be good to get it beforehand, because if you let it go a couple months, it's hard to get everybody together again, right? So, yeah. 1 second, I just wanted to see. Okay, yeah, no, I was just checking the comments. Okay. Kenzie.
Can we set that meeting up, like Laura suggested, can we set that up in either late June, early July, after we get the bus and tournament done? So we have something that we can go back to our coaches, because they're gonna be practicing and training all summer.
Yep.
So those rules in place would be great to have then, so everybody's on the same page.
Yep. So Ken's question, guys, to the guys online is, can we set that meeting up sooner rather than later, right? To make sure that we've got the rules together. So I would suggest at your next BCFL meeting, talk about what we're just talking about, and then once you guys figure out whether or not you want us to continue what we're doing, or whether you guys want to run the championship based on what your clubs want, and also discuss which version of the rules or combination thereof that you guys want to go with. I will go to your next meeting after that as well, and Jay Spencer can come with me, and we can represent the BCCFA at your meeting and go over that there. It's not going to be a difficult conversation. It's not going to be a difficult vote. If that's what you guys want to do, we're going to go with it, right? It's that simple, right? You're our members. Full stop. Yeah. Okay? Does that work? So yeah, we can do that as soon as you guys want, or we can wait till after the tournament. But as long as you guys have down what you want to do and how you want to do it, and that way we can have a proper discussion. Yeah. Okay. Vice President 12 side, Valder.
So not a lot to add to what Jay has already spoken about. The one piece that I want to raise.
I was going to say, but I got to turn it down. Because it's like.
Don't let people get in.
Go ahead,
Yeah. Can everybody? Yeah. Okay. So the one item that I wanted to raise, and it's also referenced in my report, is the fact that we did get some funding, as Jay mentioned, from the BC Lions. And so part of what we had hoped to do with the funding that we've gotten from them was to provide an opportunity to assist the clubs and their members with subsidies for players who can't afford their registration. Now, I guess what I understand has happened during the course of the year is that I guess whoever is managing kids sport was still approving applications, and I guess some associations would also apply, I guess, for Jumpstart, I'm assuming. So we actually haven't had anyone come forward with a request for subsidy support from us. So just want to remind people that that is available if that's something that you are interested in getting support from us on. And so, you know, we're assuming that we will have some funding again from the BC Lions this year, and part of that funding will be put towards helping to provide subsidies for those kids who can't afford to pay fees. So that's really all I wanted to add to the report. I think beyond that, as Jay mentioned, in spite of the reduction in funding, I think we were still able to deliver very healthy and productive events, both the Joe Glusker as well as championships. So we certainly haven't experienced any sort of diminishment in the quality of what we're able to provide for the kids on the field. So thank you for your support in getting those events up and running. But just wanted to reference that opportunity for subsidy support if you have kids that need that help. Okay, so that's it for me unless there are any questions. Yeah.
Just one sec, Valder. Yeah. No, go ahead. I just want to make sure that I get them the question before Valder answers. No, it's okay. Guys, Colin's just asking how they access that funding.
Give Colin a microphone.
Give me a microphone. Just saying, what we understand is Jumpstart has changed the way that they allocate funds, gone from a player-by-player process to now you, as an association, apply for grants to set up programs for player-by-player type situations. We've kind of set up our own, but if there's a way that we can supplement that with the funds that Valder's talking to, what's the best way for us to access that? Is it maybe a portion allocated to each association and then they can handle that how they do, or do you want to go through the cumbersome process of having each player apply for the CFA support? Does that make sense?
Possibly. I mean, the way we had originally envisioned providing that funding was on the basis of matching whatever the association was willing to provide. We would essentially match it. And so if you had 10 kids and you subsidize them to the tune of $100 each, that's $1,000, we would match that. So that's the way we had envisioned doing it. Because we actually haven't had any applications from the association yet, we actually haven't done it. So, but yeah, it would be a simple process of approaching us to let us know these are the kids, these are the amounts that we've helped offset, and we would match that essentially. So fairly simple, but yeah, just wanting to remind people that funding option is there if you need it.
Is that something that we send directly to you, Paul?
Yeah. Okay. Any? Oh, Rachel.
What I would add to that is I would also check in your local communities. So for instance in Mission, when we were told kids-sport funding wasn't an option anymore, Mission Sports Council actually stepped up and is covering the kids that would have applied for kids-sport funding. So locally, because Mission Sports Council does a lot of fundraising for our local kids, they're the ones that are directly providing the funds to us for the kids that couldn't otherwise afford it.
Okay. If not, that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Valder. Thank you, Valder. Next we got Jay Schofield, BCCFA president. Do you want a copy of your?
No. The report has been printed in the package there. Feel free to read it. If anybody has any questions on it, definitely I'm here for it. Basically, 2025 was another successful year. We had substantial growth across all of our programs. All 5 communities worked together harmoniously to make sure the kids got on the field. And that's what we stand for. We'll continue to obviously work as a team. We had a very small amount of coaching issues, a very small amount of player issues. Probably count them on one hand. So as far as football in the Valley goes, it was more of a success than we could have ever hoped. From my perspective, we're going to see another small growth this year. And it's business as usual, working as a team to make sure the kids get on the field and progress. If anybody has any questions,
Then I'll talk to you monthly.
Yes.
Dan, you mentioned.
Yes.
What are we gonna do to get back to integrating and working together to get this kids playing? There's a
Allow.
lot of kids coming from out there that our parents are complaining about the travel. Can't play down in the Valley.
Yep. honestly, the only roadblock we hit is the yeah.
Sorry, the question was from the.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Let the guy that asked it ask it.
All right, the question was, what do we have to do to get back together to integrate Bantam and Midget for the Bantam and Midget players out in the Valley that aren't getting the opportunity to play?
It's very, very simple. Very, very simple. I think I'll probably take the words out of Ken's mouth. Allow associate members. It's not a, we've been told it's basically, sign up and none of the clubs get a say anymore in how football is played in the Valley, if that's the case, and that's not something we're interested in. Right now, all of our clubs have a vote at the table. We all sit down, work as a team to make sure that the product is there for the kids. From what we understand from all the conversations in the past, none of our members would have a spot at that table anymore. It's not something we're interested in.
I've been told directly from Ken Parks that the only way anybody from the BCFL can go over to that for midget player is to leave the BCCFA.
I've been told by Kevin Parks the only way anybody can go in and enter a bantam or midget team into the BCPFA or Football BC is for that association to entirely leave the BCCFA and BCFL and go over to Football BC, which would essentially collapse the BCFL. If one of us leaves, it's going to be out the door. So as for North Langley, the last 3 years, we could have put together bantam teams, midget teams. I think there could have been 2024 could have had a North Langley and a Meadow Ridge team, and a Mission team. But those teams are they're either going to high school or we're running through Langley Minor because we're not leaving BCCFA for one team. That's the reason. We're told from your talk, this is how it's going to go. And I can also say too that there was Keith Ryan when I was trying to get a bantam team going. He mandated that any association that was helping out North Langley could not have a North Langley board member on their team. It's in writing. It's in writing. You don't shake your head. It's in writing.
I'm shaking my head about
okay, so we
what you're saying.
Okay.
I don't deny that's a possibility.
Yes, we could not have a board member as a coach. We could not use any North Langley gear. We could not use any field had to go. Any practice had to be held at that association. That association had to supply all the gear. So we couldn't help out in any regard, which really put a strain on Langley Miners fund or equipment when we went over there. We also could not wear any VMFL or VCFL or North Langley gear when we were at the field, and we had to put in writing that it was strictly a VMFL team and had no association with the BCCFA or VCFL. So
Discussion to happen.
Well, I think
there's a hard line drawn in the sand that it's not about putting more kids on the field. It's about control of football in BC.
So it's something I want to sit down with BCFL and discuss because I think we need to have some discussion about this. There's opportunities there, and I think kids are missing out. I know one club alone has over 15 kids driving from Chilliwack. That's just one club, and I know there's a bunch more driving to another club. There's so many kids being left out at the bantam and midget age where there's opportunities for them to carry on playing and they're giving up football at JV because their high schools, as more and more high schools in Abbotsford are dropping it, or just they don't want to play, or they're now with high school cracking down on their policies, that they can't switch schools in mid-year and stuff like that, or go to one school and play for another. They're losing out.
But what we have seen is a major improvement in the high school programs that we're feeding. So as tough as it is, or as tough as it was to lose bantam and midget at the community level, we've seen a major uptick in the schools that we're feeding. Those kids are coming in better prepared. They're growing that football program, and that's something that we're also proud of. I think that conversation is great. We would be able to submit multiple teams a year to those programs, and I think those kids would benefit from that. But there has to be it has to be a two-way street where basically not just going to give up what we stand for to have a couple of teams drive out to that area, which we hope.
I've got a few ideas that we can talk about. There's a past precedent in this room that we had the discussion. They were all on board with it, and then something happened at their AGM and they're no longer president, so it fell through, but there's ways to work with it. So I'd love to sit down with you and stuff.
Yeah, let's.
There's ways to work with it.
Yeah,
Not affect what you guys do.
Yeah, let's set it up. It's all about the kids. It's all about football, right? So if we can come together on that point, I think that's where it starts.
So we would absolutely support the BCFL when they make that choice to work with you guys. No problem whatsoever. Our insurance covers any player, coach, or volunteer on the field of a BCCFA sanctioned event. So our insurance is fine, even if it's interleague play or whatever. Yeah, 100%, man. Like we still love that interleague play. Like that's why before the BCFL started its own flag program, because we just got so big that we needed to do it. Our kids loved playing in the VMFL in the spring because you got to play kids you didn't get to play against during the fall season, right? And then you'd only see them again maybe if you guys all ended up at the same championship game at the end of the year, right? So yeah, getting the kids out to play that are able to play, we support it 100%. So yeah, let's circle back on that after the VCFL and you guys get a chance to talk. And, yeah. Okay. Any other questions for the VCFL? Fantastic.
Too easy, guys.
Next, we've got the LMFRA, Keith Cawthra.
Thanks, Dave.
Hold on a sec, Keith.
Keith, hold on a sec. Keith, hold on. Keith's gonna turn it up.
Thank you, Kelowna. This year we're gonna have more going up to Kelowna. We've already recruited some new referees this year, and we have some clinics planned, tackle and flag, and we'll work with the BCFL with their flag tournament or with their flag clinics coming up. So we get our guys out there, and we're looking forward to another great season. So let's play football. That's me.
Hey, can you just do like the beginning of your thing again, 1 second? Because we didn't have the mic on it. Just the first little bit about your recruiting.
We last year we recruited 12 new referees for both flag and tackle football in the fall, and this year so far we have 6 new officials. So we're moving in the right direction. A few months to go before tackle season starts, and flag will be pretty good as well. So we're good to go and ready to go. Let's play football.
Fantastic, thanks. Does anybody have any questions for the LMFRA? Just know that any club that has any officials questions, you've got new coaches coming up that aren't quite sure about any of the new rule changes, the VMFL will send referees to any of your practices, right? They'll send them to your coaches meetings.
The LMFRA.
Sorry, the LMFRA. I see it once every 3 years, and it's just so yeah, just to let you know that Keith and his team are available to help with any of your coaches' questions regarding officiating before the season starts. Okay, Lisa, 9-a-side coordinator.
Nothing really for 9-a-side. I didn't get called on to help at all. Just so the clubs are aware, I am available if you need. Sorry, if you need a third-party person to look at an incident or anything like that, I'm always available for that kind of thing. But yeah, no, I haven't. It was a good year as far as I'm concerned because I didn't hear otherwise.
Awesome. Any questions about 9-a-side? Basically our PB division. All right. Jay Spencer.
Jay Spencer. I don't need nothing. I'm loud enough.
Yes, sure. You're right.
Joe Gleska last year again was another good year. We've continued with that 10% growth since COVID, which has been great. Big thing last year, we had 26 non-member teams. So that was teams from Calgary, Prince George, Vernon, Kelowna. We're trending towards beating that number again with outside teams this year. I'm fielding some questions from some of your associations regarding travel teams at the tournament, so we're slowly working through that stuff. But there's a bunch of Under Armour flag teams that are coming on board this year from the island, from the interior, and I've been contacted from a couple teams in Nova Scotia and a couple in Ontario. So we're hoping to get farther across the country with that. As Dave said, we're looking at sponsorships. We have pulled in a bunch of sponsors. We've got some new food options coming this year. And it's kind of par for the course as we've been going. U19, again, everybody begged me last year to do sevens, and then I did not get one sevens team to come up there. So we will try 5 again this year with U19 or U18, whatever you guys can get. We'll try to run it again this year. So hopefully, you keep saying you'll bring teams, but I don't see any teams for you guys. So.
That's why the 16s
Yeah. Yeah.
What we'd like to do, because we used to do the older kids on the Friday, right? So you get Saturday and Sundays for the younger groups, but getting those kids that are going to referee anyway out, right? So they're getting paid to be there, and then they get a chance to play on the Friday night would be fantastic to get them together and see that. So
yeah, so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully we can resurrect that division up there. I said we've just been pounding everything across Canada with as far as trying to get teams and get as many teams out there as we can. So we're hoping we'll be up at least another 10% this year. So we've got teams registered already. Calgary Flag, who 2 years ago came the first time, they've got 4 teams registered already. So they keep adding teams every year. There's some other teams from Lethbridge and stuff too that are registering. That kind of covers the flag. Six-a-side was the same. Had your top 4 at the championship, which is always fun. I love the littles. They're probably part of my favorites, especially with the six-a-side, so it's pretty exciting. Questions, comments, concerns?
Anything for six-a-side or flag?
I would say six-a-side out of football has been the best decision that we've made in the last since I've been involved. Yeah, kids deserve to play tackle at that age.
Awesome. Any questions about any of the reports that we've heard? Fantastical. The next, we're going to slide right to that's the last little bit here, guys. No constitutional changes this year, and no bylaw changes. Jay had done some shoring up of some rules for six-a-side at the end of last year. I believe you've already got that out to the coaches or the clubs, right? Just some of the new rule changes, but aside from that, yeah, it's pretty smooth going. The important dates for this year, we got the Joe Gillespie Invitational Flag Tournament we were just talking about. That's the 12th, 13th, and 14th up in sunny Kelowna. And we hope to see as many kids there as possible. If you've ever been there, you know. If you haven't been, trust me, you're missing out. So get up there and join in the fun. The BCCFA Championship dates we have not set yet. It's in November. We would like to get that discussion with the BCFL out of the way first, and then we will figure out whether or not we are booking a venue and a date and get that to you guys as soon as possible. Typically we pick it here, but I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page with the BCFL before we choose. Within the BCFL area, the only 2 venues we can typically use would be Exhibition at Chilliwack or MAP in Langley, because they have the closed-in gates where, because we do charge admission for the championships only, and so that's where we can have the proper crowd control. But if any of the other fields have changed in the last little bit where we can offer proper in and out access without people just wandering onto the field, we look at those venues as well. Yeah, it's not just we're always in Chilliwack for a reason, you know. So yeah, exactly. Yeah. Does anybody else have any questions? Do we have any online questions? Lisa, Joe, Ash, Cindy, Mr. Cothra. Even though I don't coach anymore, I still call you Mr. Cothra. Not that you're going to throw a flag on me at all, but yeah. Ash, there's no questions. There you go. Thank you guys for everything. I really appreciate you guys coming out, and by all means, what's that? Oh, sorry, yes, I totally forgot. Shelley Fry has been volunteering for football now for over 20 years. She was with Coquitlam for a long time. She was with the Knights for a long time. She's been with the BCCFA forever. If you've ever been to Kelowna in the last 10 years for the flag tournament, you've seen her husband going around in a golf cart, doing anything that needs to be done. Both kids have volunteered with us
this year,
but Shelley is now stepping down and stepping away from football for the next little bit, and Laura as well. And so I did bring flowers for both you and Laura, right, for all your years of service. Thank you. Once again, thanks everybody for coming. It's thanks for giving up some of your Saturday. I think we record time for an AGM. Not bad, right? Some years go a lot longer than others. So, if anybody has any other questions or concerns outside of this, by all means, come and talk to me. Reach out to me. Direct message me or text me. I can hand my phone number out to everybody if they need to. But yeah, we're good to go.
Motion to adjourn.
Second? Yep. Done. Thanks everybody online. See you guys.